So maybe just put in the chat when you can see my screen. Let's see. Or maybe give me a thumbs up because I can't even see the chat. Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, so before we get started, let's just take a moment. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes and think about a pleasant experience that you had this week. If you can't think about one that you had from this week, think about a pleasant experience that you've had in the past. What was the experience? Were you aware that it was pleasant when it was happening? Maybe think about any bodily sensations, any feelings that you had during this experience. What was your mood? Did any thoughts accompany this experience? And take a moment to think about what thoughts are in your mind right now as you think about this experience. And if your eyes are closed, whenever you're ready, you can open them. And if you're comfortable, maybe put 1 to 2 words to describe how you feel right now in the chat. I cannot see the chat, but I'm searching for it. Serena, are you able to see the chat? Can
Yeah,
you read a few things to me that are in the chat?
yeah, I see the words relaxed, warm, peaceful, community, relaxed, blissful, peaceful, and comfort. That's beautiful.
Yes.
And if there's anything in the else in the chat, I will unmute and let you know.
Okay, thank you. Yes. So we've just engaged in a form of visualization. My name is Dr. Zipporah Brown. I am a doctor of occupational therapy and the owner of Brownz Wellness Collective. It is with great gratitude that I join you all this afternoon. So, first things first, what is occupational therapy? I do not solely help people find jobs, despite the title. Occupational therapy is a healthcare profession and it is focused on facilitating engagement in meaningful occupations despite injury, illness, or disability. And the term occupation actually refers to meaningful activities. So this is anything from showering to playing the guitar. And in terms of mental health and wellness, the barriers may not be always physical, rather what's happening internal. And so I am very, very passionate about empowering people to increase their quality of life. In a nutshell, I like to think that occupational therapists help people live their best lives, no matter the setting. So I'm super excited to talk with you all today. A little bit about my background. I am first generation higher education. My journey began at Chafee Community College. I'm a proud junior college graduate. I went to Chafee College, played basketball there. From there, I transitioned to a 4 year, graduated from Cal State Dominguez Hills Toros. And then I transitioned to West Coast University for my master's. So shout out to the West Coast current students and alumni. Went on to USC for my post-professional doctorate, fight on. And I say all that to say that I come from a resilient background, a resilient family that experienced levels of trauma, but also much resilience and healing. My dad was raised in the South, Haynesville, Louisiana. My mom was raised in Los Angeles from the city. So, um, that is a little bit about where I come from, a little bit about my journey. For many years, before I even had the language to describe what I was feeling, I experienced stress and anxiety at varying levels. Um, I distinctly remember um, I distinctly remember this change or these feelings around the age 12. Um, I got my front tooth knocked off on a school bus, and that is a time in my life that I remember starting to shrink myself and wanting to be invisible and not be seen because of feeling embarrassed, shame, thinking that, I looked a certain way. And so these feelings grew and catastrophized throughout the years, and various experiences kind of grew those feelings throughout. So all this to say, from my formal training and lived experience, I started to identify these different things that I was seeking to help people with were also things that I was experiencing too. And from that, I have learned so much about myself while also learning to help others. So I have seen in my life the increased quality of life from embracing these different things that I once tried to hide. And I'm excited to talk with you all about this today. This is very informal. So by day, I am a college professor. And, I'm passionate about working with college students. I'm passionate about working with many different populations in the community. But I definitely want today to be more like a dialogue and not a lecture. So I hope that you feel that. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. If you have something to contribute from an experience, if you want to say ashe, if you want to snap, like let's do the thing. Okay, this is our time right now. So I want to know your intentions. Like for you to join me, first of all, happy Black History Month. But for you all to join me on this Saturday afternoon, I want to know why. So I want to know your intentions. If you're not familiar with Poll Everywhere, if you text the number on the top of the screen, if you text 1-33673-237-607, and then this is anonymous. So just talk to me. Why did you join today? What are your intentions? What do you want to get from this workshop? Um, I just want to know. I want to know who's in the virtual building. So you can think about what this will mean for you short term, what this will mean for you long term.
Hi, Dr. Brown. Um,
Greetings, greetings.
I am a late student. I'm going back to school for the first time in a while. It's been a couple of years since I've been in school. And so my intentions are to focus on, just setting myself up for success and what kind of things I could do to visualize like myself at the end of this journey.
Ashe, Ashe. Thank you for joining. And I see that we have the intention to have more daily joy. Yes, yes. I definitely think that you are in the right place this afternoon if that is your intention. My intention for today is to spread knowledge. My intention for today is to not only empower all of us, including myself, but to also contribute to transformation. I see we have the intention to create and manifest abundance. Yes, Ashe. We all need more, especially during this time. Yes. Yes. Okay. So whether you shared something or not, even if you had a moment to think about why you joined, um, if your thoughts divert, and I like to think of our minds sometimes as a lot of computer tabs, and so we have so many tabs up that it can be easy to be somewhere and be thinking about something else. But if you notice your thoughts divert to what you have to do later, or maybe an experience that you had that wasn't positive, or somebody had you messed up, if you notice your thoughts divert, I want you to do the best that you can to bring it back to why you joined this workshop today, why you joined this virtual community today. So again, we're going to have some dialogue about visualization. This is not a lecture, so you may see some of your favorite artists or people grace the screen. Big Sean is one of my favorite rappers, and listening to his music, looking at this theory, looking at these lyrics, he is talking about visualization. Okay, he said, "Look, think about it. Close your eyes, dream about it. Tell your team about it. Go make $1 million schemes about it." So we're going to talk about this. More importantly, today is about claiming the life that you desire and claiming the life that you deserve. No matter your current circumstances, no matter what it looks like, what reality appears to be. I acknowledge that we are amidst a dual pandemic, being COVID-19 and racial injustice. Rest in power to anybody that you may have lost to either of these things or anything. Um, I acknowledge that, but I do want to also say that um, us being here in this moment, we have the ability to really claim the life that we deserve and desire. So again, Big Sean is describing visualization here. And visualization, simply stated, is the formation of a mental image of something. Simply stated, many well known artists, activists, actors, people in general speak about it. It's all around us. But let's talk more about the facts connected to visualization. So by trade, I'm an occupational therapist. I've been trained in knowing the evidence. Occupational therapy is an evidence-based profession. I like to say that I'm an evidence-informed practitioner. Although I know what the evidence says, I also feel that we are all unique. Occupational therapy is a client-centered profession, so I'm evidence-informed, knowing that everything doesn't work for everyone, but we can learn about it and take from it that which is beneficial. So, the actual science behind visualization is connected to the neural patterns of our brain. So, when we think and visualize the things that we want in our lives, we are creating new neural pathways. The same as if you had actually done the activity, the same as if you've already accomplished the goal. So basically, neural pathways are created in the brain based on our habits and behaviors. As we participate in new activities, we're training our brains to create new neural pathways. These pathways get stronger with repetition until the behavior is a new normal. So our brain, our nervous system is literally stimulated just by thinking about something. Even if you've never taken part in it, even if you haven't done it before. The nerd in me, that's mind blowing. Like, wow, we have the ability to train our mind essentially. Um, but the thing is, this is true whether you're thinking positively or negatively. Your brain believes what you tell it. Your brain believes what you tell it. So I want us to take a moment. Visualization is literally us picturing in our mind the things that we desire, right? So doing this trains our mind. And I want us to try it out. If you're not already, do your best to find a quiet place to sit, somewhere where you won't be disturbed, if that's possible. If not, it's okay. We're going to work with what we have. But I want you to close your eyes and just focus on your breathing while I read this prompt to you, if you feel comfortable closing your eyes. So take a moment to visualize that you are confidently living life to the fullest. Imagine that you continue to accomplish your goals, and as a result, you're living your best life. What does your life look like? What have you accomplished? How are you interacting with others? How are you interacting with the world around you? How do you see yourself? How do you feel? When you feel comfortable, if you've closed your eyes, open them. But I want you to do the best that you can to visualize as clearly as possible, with every detail that you can imagine, what you seek to desire, what you desire, what you seek to accomplish, or who you seek to be. If you've printed out your interactive workbook, you would go to page 5. But if not, please use paper, or if you feel more comfortable typing. But I want us to take about 7 to 10 minutes to begin writing this vision out. Either again on page 5 in your visual beginning to visualize workbook, you can write it on paper or you can type it out. I'm gonna play some music. um, if you prefer no music, please turn your volume down, but we'll take about 7 to 10 minutes to begin writing this vision out.
I've had these fantasies since I was 17, wanting to see your face in every dream, feeling to feel your presence in everything. My love for you is as deep as the seven seas. There's something about your beauty that can turn refugees into devotees. Heaven's grace in your face I thought I would never see. When my mind was enslaved, you set it free. When my heart was enraged, you fed it peace. And let it be. You are everything I'll ever need. I know that all things happen in divine timing. And as the kundalini in my spine rises, on the horizon of my heart, I feel divine rising, divine rising, divine rising, divine rising, divine rising, divine rising. Breathe and be still. Breathe and be here. Breathe and be now. Allow your spirit to be receptive. Be receptive. Everything that you want is available to you now. Everything that you need, you already have. There are no voids in the universe. There are no voids within you. Creation is abundant, infinite, ever expanding, boundless. Though you live in creation, creation also lives in you. You are abundant, infinite, ever expanding, boundless. Remove all thoughts of lack and limitation from your consciousness. There is no such thing as lack. There are no limitations. The only limit is your mind. Let your mind expand. Let your consciousness expand. Inhale deeply. Let your mind expand. Exhale completely. Let your consciousness expand. Success is all around you. Success is within you. Wealth is all around you. Wealth is within you. Growth is all around you. Growth is within you. You are an abundant and attractive force. You are an abundant and attractive force. Everything that you want is available to you now. Everything that you need, you already have. Inhale. Exhale. Just breathe. Envision yourself sitting on the shores of a vast ocean. Watch the waves as they roll towards you. See how easily they fade away. As they drift towards you. See how beautifully they fade away. As you breathe, feel how
Okay. So if you were still writing your vision and you did not get the chance to fully write it out, that is okay. And please know that your vision doesn't have to be concrete, although it can be, but you can continue to add, you can take away. Um, this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning. So we have one more poll everywhere. So if you can just, if you feel comfortable, again, this is anonymous. If you can just put a few words and let me know, or if you would like to unmute and share how you feel about what you visualize.
Dr. Brown, is the text number at the top of the screen?
Oh, let me see.
I think it might have just cut off where we can't see it.
Okay, let me take a look. How about now?
I don't see it yet, but if you read out the text number to us, I can just put in the chat.
Okay, okay. Let's see. So you'll text the number 133 683 to 37607. And again, if you feel comfortable, you can absolutely unmute and share. Yes, many feelings, dreams, stuck endlessly, peace, powerful. I feel powerful and peaceful. Yes. Embraced, motivated, empowered, simplifies my dreams into little steps that can be achievable. Empowered. I feel like I could go endlessly. I have so many dreams right now after a year of feeling stuck. Yes. Like they will effortlessly unfold. Ashe. So, this exercise that we just embarked on, it is important to continuously visualize what you're seeking every day, more than once a day. It doesn't always have to be in the form of writing. It could be in the form of imagining, like we did in the beginning. Really just thinking through the very details, the feelings, the sensations. It's important to visualize what you're seeking every day. It's also important to actually believe what you visualize. Remember, our brain believes what we tell it. So, therefore, it's important to affirm that we can achieve what we desire in our life all throughout our day. Um, in all caps, it's necessary to believe that you deserve an abundantly amazing life. It's necessary to believe that. And again, I said you may see your favorite artist come across the screen. So in Beyonce's song Bigger, she proclaims that it is our birthright. We have the ability to rewrite our story. We are co-authors in our story. And we have the ability to step in our essence. And so we have to know that we have the ability. So you visualize it, right? You have it in your mind. You know what it's. You know what you seek to. You know what you seek and what you desire. Um, Now it's time to take some action, right? It's one thing to visualize it and want to do it, but we do deserve it, and it is our right if we take action. So, um, starting with setting goals, and these goals are things that align with your vision, align with your future self, align with your maybe long term or ultimate goal. So imagine you're traveling from LA to New York on an airplane, right? The pilot has a set route to follow in order to reach the destination. Um, they know where they're going, they know where they started, they know how to they know the end point is New York, right? They have directions and they have the route that they need to take, but it's January. I think it's February. I think that's the height of winter in New York. So although the pilot has a set route to follow, it's the height of winter and unexpected weather conditions arise. Wind, rain, snow, this all affects the airplane's planned course to get to that destination, to get to New York. But since the pilot knows the exact destination being New York, they're able to make proper adjustments to get there, right? Um, or since we're in the midst of the pandemic and maybe we're not traveling too much, let's think about another example. Think about you are going to be driving somewhere. You're going to get in the car and drive somewhere that you've never gone before. Do you just get in the car and start driving and you've never been there before? I hope not, because I don't know if you'll make it there. But most likely, you will take a moment and you will put the address in your phone. You will pull up the directions, right? You will put the directions in your GPS. And even if you make a wrong turn, you will be rerouted to get to your destination. Even if you have to stop to get gas, even if you stop to get food, um, you miss your exit, you'll be rerouted until you get to your destination, right? That's the same thing with setting goals. With intentional goals, you know where you're headed, and you can always get back on track if you get off course, right? So we're LAX and our goal is New York, right? We know where we're going, even if we get off course, even if the weather conditions don't permit us to go in the direction we thought we were going to go, even if we have challenge, even if we have a bad day, even if we have a bad experience, we know where we're heading, right? So setting a goal is like having a map. Setting a goal is, in our case, Siri, right? It is help us. They are there to help us get to our destination. Goals are our set destination. You know where you are, and you know where you intend to go, right? So you know the life that you want, or you know what you want to accomplish. You know you have a goal. Let's just think about what can get us closer to this. You don't have to write out everything at this point, but just think about what you visualize. Think about what you just wrote. And before even writing a goal, just start listing some things. If you're a bullet person, write some bullets. If you want to write it, in the form of a paragraph, just words, think about at least five things. It can be more, but think about at least five things that are needed to become what you desire, to accomplish what you visualize. Just write down five things. So, this is what I like to call a brain dump or just flushing out your thoughts. They can be specific, they can be vague, not so much about specifically what you're writing, just what is it that you need to do. And if you are having a hard time thinking about some things that you need to do because, maybe you are seeking to do something you've never done before, I offer this example of I had the desire to become an occupational therapist. Some things that I may have written out was I needed to complete volunteer hours. I needed to get a letter of recommendation. I needed to take a science class. I needed to find a school to go to. I needed to complete the application. And these are not necessarily things that I knew when I was going to do them or how I was going to do them. I just knew that these were some things that needed to happen before I could become an occupational therapist. So now that you've identified some things, maybe not everything, but just a few things that are needed to um, really make this vision come to life, just pick one that you want to start with. Maybe circle it, put a star, highlight it, underline it. Just pick one of these items. Okay. So now we are going to take that one item that you flushed out and turn it into a SMART goal. So the difference between a brain dump or just writing bullet points and a goal is that your goal is going to be clear and specific. Okay, so this is a formula called SMART goals, and this is something that we use in occupational therapy. Other health professions use it, schools, and now you have it as your tool. So um, I like to say that when I learn new things, I'm adding them to my swag bag or my toolkit. So this format is something that can be repeated over and over again, personally, professionally, so on and so forth. So your goal should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time bound. Um, and when we're thinking about specific, it should be very clear, very clear. And if you haven't taken a time yet to go through your interactive workbook, SMART goals are broken down like in depth. Every letter um, is broken down for you. So when we're thinking about specific goals, some things that you can be asking yourself when writing these goals are, is it clear? Is it clear for you, right? And also, why do you want to accomplish it? Why is it important? What is involved when we're thinking about it being specific? Also, it's very important for your goal to be measurable so that you can track your progress. So when we're thinking about, we want to think like how much, how many. Um, we want to make it tangible when we're thinking about measuring our progress or just measuring where we are in accomplishing the goal. Your goal also needs to be attainable, right? You want to make sure that you challenge yourself. We have something in occupational therapy called the Just Right Challenge. So it shouldn't be too easy where, our client or whoever we're working with can accomplish it without any effort or they can accomplish it now. But it also shouldn't be so difficult that it's out of their reach or it's not attainable. So think about your goal being achievable for you. It should definitely take you out of your comfort zone, but you should have the ability to accomplish it, right? So if you are wanting to start working out, maybe your goal won't be to run a marathon next week, but maybe your goal might be to walk for 5, 10 minutes a day, right? Make it attainable. And so also it should be, when we're thinking about, in addition to it being attainable, it should be relevant, realistic, ensuring that this matters to you. This will increase your motivation. Is this relevant to your life? Is this relevant to your vision? Is it relevant to your bigger picture, to your why, to your purpose? Is it relevant? And also, is this the right time in your life? Um, I don't know about you all, but sometimes I'll have these like feelings in my gut where I almost have butterflies when I think about something that I want to accomplish, and I have butterflies because I'm nervous, but the feeling keeps coming up, and it's almost like um, God, the universe is telling me to lean into it. Think about: is it the right time? Is it the right time? Does this keep coming up for you? And lastly, every SMART goal needs to have a timeline or a target date. This helps to focus and to have something to work towards. And this helps you to think, what can I do today? What can I do 1 week from now? What can I do for 6 weeks from now? This helps you to have some structure, helps you to plan it out. This helps with taking action. So take a moment and write a SMART goal from the item that you selected from your thought flush or your brain dump. And maybe if you finish writing your goal, hit me with a reaction, any reaction, just so I know that you're done. Um, or it'll also let me know if we need some time.
I have a question, Dr. Brown. Someone mentioned in the chat, and I was going to mention it as well. As far as time bound goes, I know there's research. Well, I'm late on the research about like 6 weeks or however many days to form a habit. This one I always get stuck by because I'll set like 1 month is an easy one, but sometimes I don't know if that's too far, or just seeing if you have any recommendations for the group for time bound.
Yes, that's a great question. So time bound, something else in occupational therapy that we do is we set long-term goals and short-term goals, right? And so, for example, in this instance, I might consider a long-term goal a 1 month, right? And I might break that goal down. So this might be something larger into something that I can do every week to accomplish the goal, right? So, for example, if we think about this presentation today, the PowerPoint that I created, my goal was to have the PowerPoint completed in 1 month. And so, with that, it might have been that in 1 week I will pick my template and make my outline, right? And then the next week might have been within 1 week, I will complete the first portion or the first subject of this PowerPoint. And each week adding to it to reach that long-term goal of in 1 month, the presentation will be done. Does that make sense? Okay, awesome. And again, the time bound or the timeline is to help us to kind of plan out our time, give us a target date. It helps us to focus. You know, there's a difference between I'm going to read this book and I'm going to finish this book in 3 weeks, right? Does the book get picked up? I don't know. So again, when you're done writing your SMART goal, just hit me with the reaction. Nice. Okay. So you've written your very first goal towards your future self. You have written your very first goal that is in line with what you've envisioned. So take a moment to think about why this goal is important to you, how you will feel after you accomplish this goal. Think about what this goal means for your bigger picture, your overall vision. And lastly, think about what action can you take today that will help you reach your goal? Even if it's a small action, can you think of something that you can do today? And I see that it's 2:50. And so for the sake of us not wanting to miss anything, but still be able to take a break, while you're thinking about this, let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break. So with 5 minutes till, we'll come back and we'll resume. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the chat. And when we come back from our break, we'll take some time to answer them. So let's go ahead and take a 5-6 minute break. Welcome back. Welcome back. Take maybe 1 minute or so for everyone to rejoin. Um, Maybe you can give a reaction if you're back, so it helps us to know. Okay. So you set your first goal. And the beautiful thing about this journey, the beautiful thing about visualization, SMART goals, and taking action is that you can continue going back to that list that you created, and you can use this same SMART formula to set more goals. And you can continue brain dumping and brainstorming, and setting more goals. I don't know where I heard this quote, but basically it goes something like, it's not about reaching the destination, rather it's about the journey. And so the best version of yourself in 2021 will certainly not be the same in 2022 and beyond. So, really is about the journey and not so much about the destination. Um, and another beautiful thing about the journey is that you can keep chipping away at your goals while setting new ones, while setting new ones. And so when you're seeking to accomplish something that you've never done before, or maybe you are trying to get back to where you were, no matter how big or small your goals are, your visions are, you cannot give up. I know that that is easier said than done, but something that has been helpful for me is knowing that challenges are going to arise, knowing that challenges are going to come. Um, Challenge, when challenge and adversity comes, this is the point when many people give up. This is the point when many people give up, myself included. Um, I founded my business this last year in August 2020, but I have had the desire to start a business and do exactly what I'm doing right now for a very long time. And um, in the past, I have, in the past, I allowed fear to cripple me, and um, feeling like I wasn't prepared, or that people wouldn't listen to me, or I wasn't qualified to be talking about these things or be on these platforms. But from my from my formal training and from my lived experience, um, I have I have and continue to work through these different feelings, and continue to train my mind. And I'm excited to be here this afternoon because this is literally something that I visualize. Like, the fact that I am talking to you guys, you all, on February 6th, 2021, is something that is on my vision board, from September 6th, 2020. Like, I'm looking at my vision board in front of me. And so knowing that, so many challenges have arisen, throughout my life, different things that have put me in a place that, caused me to divert from my thoughts. But with different tools and strategies, it has helped me to continue to persevere. And rest in power, Nipsey Hussle. This quote, these lyrics, you gotta pace yourself. It's all about your breathing. Like, that's a coping strategy that Nipsey Hussle is talking about. You can have it all. It's all about your reason. What's your purpose? What's your why? And so negative thoughts, self-limiting thoughts, they will arise. Look at this element. Think of this element like your mind, right? We have thoughts and they flow continuously throughout the day, continuously. Research varies, but many things that come from research is that we have thousands of thoughts a day, thousands of thoughts a day. Most of them are subconscious thoughts, thoughts that we're not aware of. These thoughts come from what we put into us, what we watch, what we listen to, who we hang around, our environment. Thousands of thoughts a day, thousands of thoughts a day. But what happens when you get stuck on a thought? Maybe you have a negative experience, or you want to do something, but you think you can't do it. And so you don't know what the next step is, or it's difficult, or it's so outlandish that our friends and family think that we're crazy for even dreaming so big, or everyone around you is on autopilot. What happens then? Our thoughts are moving, our thoughts are moving. We can get stuck, right? And we tend to perseverate or stay stuck on our negative thoughts. So, similar to a broken record, we're unable to move past it. We're unable to move past it. Or maybe we're unsure of how to address this thought and move forward. So, something that was really mind blowing for me, well, first of all, have you ever noticed how easy it is to think of negative things or everything that could go wrong, or how easy it is to stay stuck on the bad things? Have you ever noticed that? You may get, for my students, you may get a, a, a good grade on your assignment, but it was one piece of constructive feedback that you could not move past. Like the audacity of the professor to say that I did that. Or maybe you're at work and you get your annual review, and your boss tells you all of the great things that you're doing, or maybe your boss says, keep up the good work, but you can improve in this area. And you stay stuck on the area and didn't hear anything else about the things that, are maybe going well, so on and so forth. So this actually goes back to the beginning of time. Like, this goes back to being in survival mode and having to be on the lookout for threats. I don't know if you've ever heard the term maybe survival of the fittest, or, you have to, eat or get ate. These different terms like that literally goes back to the beginning of time. And so I don't know if you've ever seen or heard of that ancient figure, where he is constantly rolling this like stone ball, this concrete ball uphill, right? And I don't know if he ever makes it to the top, but when he stops to take a break, the ball rolls down, and here he does have to start back over. So it's this idea of never being able to relax and never being able to move forward. And so, thinking in a sense that we've maybe been programmed to live in fear, for survival, in fear for survival. But when we're setting out to accomplish something great, we have to be able to push past that fear and persevere. And we can do this through implementing different mindfulness practices or different coping strategies, right? When you know better, you do better. We know we know that when we're setting out to do something that we are going to encounter challenge, that we will have to persevere. So with that, there are different coping strategies that can help with this. And if you're unfamiliar with the term coping strategies, these refer to specific efforts, behavioral, psychological, that we can implement, that we can learn, that we can make a part of our daily practice to help reduce or even minimize these challenging experiences. So, these mindfulness practices or coping strategies, these are things that we can make a part of our daily practices that we do every day, even if we are not currently experiencing a challenging moment, but so that we equip ourselves to be in the state of calmness, so that we can embody, a new word that I learned, equanimity. I wrote it down. Let me read the definition to you because this one was something special. And I take pride in being a lifelong learner. There's so many things that we can continue to learn. So I wrote this down. I don't know it by heart, but it's something I'm seeking to embody. Mental calmness, composure, and evenness of temper, especially in a difficult situation. Equanimity. And so, thank you. So, coping strategies can help us to embody this. There are many different evidence based strategies. These are just a few that I've listed here and included in the interactive workbook. And the beautiful thing is that Compound LBC offers many different coping strategies. Shout out to Compound LBC. I think that they offer weekly yoga, deep breathing sessions, meditation. Maybe Serena, you can, this shameless plug, maybe if you want to talk a little bit more about the things that you all offer.
All right, what's up, y'all? So this is the shameless plug time for my job. So again, I'm Serena Au from Compound Long Beach, which is a creative and cultural complex, which that's a lot of words, but what it means is we focus on art, wellness, and social justice, particularly for people of color and people who do not necessarily have access to wellness typically. So Thursday through Sunday, we have free yoga and meditation every day. There is free breath work on Thursdays. I had never been to breath work until I started this job. I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning, I was not a real believer. It's definitely not marketed to people who look like me. So getting started with breath work, now I'm a big believer. I have lots of fun on Thursdays, and on Sundays, we also have sound bath. I was very new to sound bath. I love it. I will say online, it's one thing when we are able to open, because, pandemic times, when we're able to open, I'll let y'all know, and you can come in and experience Compound in real life. But yes, we got a lot. All right, shameless plug, done.
Yes, and Serena, can you put also the Compound handle for Instagram, so then also people can, keep up to date there as well?
Yes, I'll put the Instagram. Oh, okay. I always forget if I'm on mute or not, but yes, I'll put it on the chat as well. So come join me. I'm at every single program. You can come do yoga with me. I am not a pro, so if you are worried about being a pro at yoga or meditation, my coworker Kennedy's here. I do a lot of yoga where I'm like, I'm a little bit of a potato after this year. So potatoes can do yoga too. Come be a yoga potato.
Yes. Yes. So Compound LBC has what you need. These are a few strategies that I have found helpful throughout my journey. Definitely not a professional at any of them, but that's the beautiful thing about the journey, is that it is an individualized experience. And it's not so much about doing it right, rather the fact that it helps you to be present and mindful. Deep breathing is one of the easiest ways to elicit the relaxation response, or the ability to relax and be present. It helps to distract us from negative thinking, and it helps us to focus when taking deep breaths. There are many different types of deep breathing. Again, in the interactive workbook, it walks you through step by step in how to engage. Also, there is mindfulness meditation. This focuses on the present moment by turning your attention towards your cycle of breathing in some practices, and helping you to focus on the sensations that come with it as well. Another strategy that has been helpful for me is progressive muscle relaxation. This works by increasing awareness of the tension that occurs during stress. Something that I learned throughout this journey, and that's why it's also very important to surround yourself with quality people. One of my best friend brought to my attention that when I'm very tense, my shoulders tend to raise, and so progressive muscle relaxation helps to tense and relax your muscles, and also notice where tension occurs during stress, and it helps you to consciously release the tension. This helps with relaxation both physically and emotionally. So again, there are many other things that you can engage in. If access is of concern for you, tap in with Compound LBC. I know it's unfortunate that we're virtual, but that makes it more accessible to people who may not be very close to Long Beach geographically. So it's not necessary for you to engage in all of these, rather what works well for you. So again, adding these to your toolkit or your swag bag, adding what works for you. And, you can try them out and see what helps you when you're feeling very stressed out, what's helpful for you to do on a day-to-day basis. It's something that you want to implement in your daily routine, but it shouldn't be a burden. You might find that when you engage on a consistent basis, that it is helpful for you, like having your coffee in the morning. So lastly, right, we have visualized, we have begun setting goals, we have become cognizant that challenges will arise, and we have some tools to be able to persevere and work through those different things. Um, and so it's important to continue to affirm what you're seeking. As the late Nelson Mandela, rest in power, said, it always seems impossible until it's done. It always seems impossible until it's done. So anything that we imagine is possible if we're willing to believe and take action and speak life into ourselves. The sky is not even the limit. The sky is not even the limit. And day to day things that happen, things that we encounter, they can they can be they can be discouraging, but we have to continue to come back to what our vision is and thinking about our goals being that destination, despite us getting off course. And so one thing that can be helpful in really believing and helping us to stay on track are positive affirmations. And in a nutshell, affirmations are statements. These statements impact our behavior, they impact our thinking patterns, our habits, our actions. This is a way to begin training our mind. So, like we learned, we have thousands of thoughts a day. Many of them are subconscious. These can be from things that we were told when we were kids, what we experienced as kids, similar to what I shared earlier. These thoughts can come from what we hear from people around us. But now that we know that, we can start to train our mind and put into our mind what it is that we want to believe and what we want to happen. So affirmations automatically, subconsciously, involuntarily bring up mental images into our mind. And so our mind starts to see what we're telling it. Our mind starts to paint and develop this picture. And so, again, what we think, whether positive or negative, our brain believes. So, us knowing that, we are the control center, right? We are in control. And so, research shows, again, these thousands of thoughts a day, but research also shows we have the ability to develop new neural pathways. So, if we have thousands of thoughts a day, that means that potentially we have hundreds of thoughts a minute, an hour. For most people who are not cognizant of this, have 80% negative thoughts. Going back to that survival mode, you're pushing the rock uphill, you take a moment to rest, only for the rock to come back down, right? So we're constantly in survival mode. We don't want anything bad to happen. Potentially, are we bringing bad things on us? It's possible to reverse this though. We're no longer pushing the rock uphill. We can reverse this negative aura. A major key in visualizing and manifesting the goals you seek to accomplish and the life that you desire, live in believing that you can and that you will. So affirmations are even better when we personalize them. So I'm not sure if you follow me on IG. If you don't, I will definitely put this, it's on the last slide, but I post affirmations and quotes very often, but it's nothing like personalizing them for yourself. And if you didn't catch that joke previously, your aura, okay? You have the ability to reverse that. So here are three ways that you are three ways that you can begin creating your own affirmations. So you can, and I suggest that you look in the mirror when reciting these things. They can be the same ones, they can be different ones. I don't know if you all have seen the show Insecure by Issa Rae. Um, that show really solidified for me that it is okay to talk to yourself in the mirror. So really start to look at yourself and speak these different things. And so the first one is I am. This is really speaking to who you're becoming, who you seek to become. And the next one is I deserve. This is claiming what you desire and really believing that you deserve that. And then the last one is I forgive myself for. This one is very important. This one is very powerful for releasing any shame and guilt that you may feel, any shame and guilt that you felt from things in the past, anything that you have blamed yourself for. You may even take the time to forgive others, forgive yourself to, or forgiving yourself for holding on to burdens or things that others may have done. And something else that occupational therapists and other holistic healthcare professions embody is what's called a trauma informed lens. So rather than thinking, why am I like this or why are they like that, thinking, what happened to me? What happened to them? And really being able to forgive and let go of that shame and guilt. So I want to take some time to write these affirmations out so that you have at least 15 things that speak life into yourself. So you're going to write out 5 I ams. Um, I am talented. I am confident. I am capable. I deserve this life. I deserve to be an entrepreneur. I deserve to pass the exam. I deserve to get this job. I deserve to buy nice things. I forgive myself for allowing people to treat me less than I am worth. I forgive myself for shrinking in places that were too small for me. I forgive myself for not remaining consistent on my goals. I forgive myself for comparing my progress. So let's take a few moments to write our first set of affirmations.
Dr. Brown, real quick question about this topic. I know you have some other questions in the chat about what we previously talked about as well. For the I deserve, that one's hard. And I know that was part of why I was first drawn to you, is that you really embody the like, I deserve all the money. I deserve all the good love. And I learn a lot from you. And maybe you could speak a little bit to the group, because I know for me personally, like, I want to think, well, no, I want to know that I deserve the mansion, but I'm not quite there yet realistically in my own head. So yeah, maybe you could share a little bit with the group, because I do look up a lot to you for that vibe.
Thank you. Thank you. So I received that. I appreciate your kind words, Serena. Um, when I'm talking to you all, there's something that I do on Wednesdays called Wellness Wednesdays. When I'm talking on Wellness Wednesdays, I'm providing education, but that's also me affirming these things and speaking these things. And even sometimes when I don't believe it myself yet, but because I know the power of our brains and the power of us being able to train our minds, I'm actually in the act of training my mind when I'm talking to people. And so there's this activity. Let me see if I have the post-it. I'm going to hold it up. So there is this activity called 9 dots. You see that? And so basically the activity calls for you to make 4 straight lines without the lines crossing. 4 straight lines without the lines crossing. But touching all of the dots. So what many people will do is they'll look at the outer edges of these 9 dots And they'll think that that is a box, but really it's just 9 dots. And so I won't tell you all the answer. I won't show you how to do it. No, no, no. Spend some time with it today, another time, and if all else fails, you can always Google 9 dots. But what happens is people look at those outer dots and think that it's a box. But consider that there actually is no box. And so with that, there is no box that you have to stay in to have those lines, to connect those dots. And so maybe the big mansion seems very outlandish, right? Maybe it seems like, what? You could never do that. But consider that that's because you've placed yourself in a box. Consider that you're thinking about the other people in your life that you don't personally know someone in a mansion, that you don't know anyone that's ever accomplished these things, and so it feels untangible, right? Consider that you've placed yourself in a box. And then think about your why, right? Because I believe in blessed to be a blessing. And so I know that I'm going to live an abundant life because I have the desire to help people. I have the desire to empower people. I have the desire to donate. I have the desire to uplift. And so that requires resources. And so when we think about that could never be me, ask yourself if you've placed yourself in a box. And ask yourself, is there even a box? We hear about so many success stories of, people coming from the lowest of the lowest or just unimaginable circumstances. Even thinking about like the movie that Will Smith stars in, The Pursuit of Happiness. And there's a scripture in the Bible, do not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time you will reap a harvest if you do not give up. Is it potentially that we just have to keep taking action? And so when you write these affirmations, you don't necessarily have to believe them just yet. It's almost better if you don't believe them yet, because that's even better for training your mind. I don't know if that answers your question, but that was kind of what came to my mind when you asked that.
Yeah, it really did. No, that helped me a lot because I like that, maybe you're not quite there. Otherwise, it's not quite an affirmation, just a fact, right? Like I know I'm smart, I'm smart, but like that I definitely hear the aspiring with the mansion. We just trying to get a 1-bedroom condo in Long Beach, friends. We'll start.
Right. Just keep, the thing is, again, like, best version of yourself 2021 does not look the same in 2022. Like, the mansion is coming. We didn't say when, right? Like, it's the idea is that we continue to grow and elevate, right? And if the sky is not even the limit, like the sky's not even the beginning, the sky is the beginning and not even the limit. Like, who knows what we can accomplish? You might have a compound home, double mansion with your family living on the other side. Like, we have no clue what this life has for us if we're open to receiving it. Like, if we're just open to receiving it. I would have never imagined, I mean, I did, but didn't know it would happen this fast, that I'd be doing a workshop as the owner of a company. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was just trying to finish my doctorate or just trying to get into OT school. When I was at Chaffee Community College, Panthers stand up, like, I didn't know that I would graduate from USC. That honestly wasn't even in the plans. I was just trying to, what does 2 Chainz say? I'm just trying to make my mama proud. I knew I wanted to do something. I knew I wanted to help people. Let it unfold. It'll unfold. Trust the journey. Yes, I see the chat now. Thank you. I received that. I received that. I'm the real boss. So are you. Um, one of my mentors I've never met in my entire life. Her name is Lisa Nichols. She's a transformation coach. She says something that really made accomplishing all that I desire tangible. She said, "I'm not extraordinary. You thinking that I'm extraordinary gives you an excuse to not go for what you desire because you think that I only did it because I was extraordinary. But I'm just like you and you're just like me." Blew my mind. Blew my mind. So hit me with the reaction if you've written your first 15 affirmations. I'm loving this dialogue. I feel so woo. I saw one of my students in here. When I first met her, she introduced herself. She said that when she gets excited, she says, woo, woo. And so that's how I'm feeling right now. Like we are doing this thing. So it's very important that we recite these affirmations daily, several times a day, in the mirror, when you're driving, when you're working, preparing for an exam, preparing for a big meeting, because we have thousands of thoughts per day. And if we're training our mind, thus restructuring our brain anatomy, we have the power. But repetition, right? Repetition. Remind yourself of who you are. Remind yourself of who you are.
Dr. Brown, we have one question in the chat. Might have been about previous slide about like muscle relaxation meditation. The question is, do you think things like herbs or other natural remedies can assist?
Yes, I do. That's not my area of expertise, so I can't lend you any specifics, but I do believe that herbs and I believe in natural remedies. I believe in Eastern medicine, and I absolutely do think so. I'm not well enough versed to speak on the specifics, but to answer the question, yes, yes, I do. Mhm. I believe in holistic healing. So the queen has graced us again. Okay. And if you don't believe me, believe Yonsei. None of our fears can go where we're headed. We have to continue to denounce them. When a fear arises, that's an amazing time to recite an affirmation. That's an amazing time to go through our affirmations. That's an amazing time to forgive yourself for allowing those, to forgive yourself for allowing to forgive yourself for believing those thoughts in the past, because we no longer believe those. We no longer believe those, and we're going to continue to speak against them. It makes sense that our negative thoughts continue to arise because it's repetition, right? And so, if for all this time we've been subconsciously thinking negative, it makes sense that they come often. But now we're starting on a new track. Now we're starting on a new route, and we're going to train ourselves opposite. So it's important to continuously visualize what you're seeking and speaking it every day, multiple times a day. It's also important to actually believe what you visualize because, again, our brain believes what we tell it. Therefore, it's important to affirm that you can achieve what you desire in your life all throughout your day, even if it seems outlandish. And this just came to me in terms of social support. So, in this pandemic, to some extent, many of us may have experienced the lack of social interaction, whether with people that we know or people that we don't know. With that, um, really thinking about quality over quantity and the people that you surround yourself around. It's very important to surround yourself around people that also have goals and visions. Doesn't have to be the same as yours, right? Because we're on our own journey. people that believe in you. Maybe if they don't know how you're going to do it, but they rock with you for even believing that for yourself. Really surrounding yourself around people that are going to keep you in that good energy, keep you in that good space. Um, Something I think silver lining or a beauty that's come from the pandemic is the power of the virtual community. I met Serena online. I've never seen her in person. And I can't wait to meet her in person, but she has been someone that has really added to my community and the quality of my thoughts and really believing that I can accomplish it. There have been a few times that I've interacted with Serena, like seriously, my people that really know me can attest to that. I've brought you up lots of times, but like if Serena believes that I can do it, like I can do it. Like what? Like Serena feels like this about what I just said. Like, okay, big facts. Like it's real. Like it's up, you know? And so surround yourself with people of quality. It's not about having a whole bunch of friends. It's not about having a whole bunch of people that believe, but surround yourself around people who are also trying to embody a powerful life. Like you're creating the life that you want. That's unique to you. It doesn't compare to anyone. It doesn't compare to what anyone else is doing, what anyone else has, what anyone else is working towards. Um, this is another note. Social media is a lot of things, right? And you can get on social media and see Susie Q that you went to school with and see that she's in Barbados this week and Dominican Republic next, and it can make you feel like, now what am I doing wrong? Like I'm over here, trying to work towards this, and what does she have on me? Like, no, no. You are focused on your journey. What you are accomplishing has nothing to do with what anyone else is doing. And the beauty of social media is that you get to choose what you see. So if these things are triggering for you, unfollow. And the Instagram specifically has made it slick enough that you can just mute. They don't even have to know that you're not looking. If you don't want to be offensive, but if you just, YOLO and don't care, unfollow. This is your life. You get to choose what you get to see. Follow hashtags that are in line with what you want to learn about. Follow people that are doing what you seek to do. That's only motivation. That's only inspiration. That's only evidence that it's possible, right? There are hundreds of makeup lines, and Rihanna still released Fenty. And do you see the slay? That was because Rihanna believed in her makeup line. Like there's enough space for us all to occupy. It's not about what anybody else is doing, right? So stay focused on your journey. And again, something to remember is that you can write your story. You can start over at any time. You can start over at any time. And the beautiful thing is you won't be starting from square one, because you will have had experiences that you can work with. You'll have experiences. You don't have to feel bad, right? That a barrier came, that adverse weather, like our pilot earlier. That's okay. Because when you do pick back up, you have all that you've already put into it to grow from. Just keep going. Like if I can say anything, just keep going. One small thing every single day can change your life. If we did one thing every day towards who we seek to be, towards what we seek to accomplish, we will have done hundreds of things in a year just by being conscious, just by being mindful. At the very least, we will have done 365 things. At the very least, though, because the thing is, something else we talk about in OT is getting into your flow, right? You start doing these things, you start seeing the outcomes, you start feeling the outcomes. You want to keep going, you want to keep doing it, you lean into it. What else can I accomplish? I did this, what else can I do? Right? One small thing every day. If it's just deep breathing, if it's just visualizing, if it's just saying your affirmations, You will begin to be motivated to do those things that you're affirming. You will begin embodying those things. And once you visualized your first set of goals, you can go back and make more goals. And you can begin building your toolkit or your swag bag of mindfulness practices. Maybe you just start out with deep breathing, and then maybe you pick up seated yoga, and then maybe you engage in a body scan, and you continue to build this toolkit. You've created your first essential set of affirmations, just your initial set. You can continue make more affirmations. Once you've become those things that you've affirmed, you can make new affirmations. You can adopt lyrics from songs, quotes from your idols, quotes from your mentors. Like I mentioned earlier, Lisa Nichols is my mentor, and she's famous. I've never met her in my life, but she's still my mentor because I've seen that she's accomplished something that I seek to accomplish. Like, that's awesome. I'm not intimidated by her. I'm not discouraged because she's already done it. I'm like, cool, she did it. I can do it. Right? Get some mentors, get some accountability partners. You don't have to know them. That's okay. That's the point of YouTube. That's the point of Instagram. Read their stories, listen to what they've said. And once you've done all this, you'll see the last few pages in your journal, your last few pages in your interactive workbook. I don't know that we'll have time to do it today, but write a letter to your future self. Write a letter to your future self, proclaiming how proud you are of the amazing things that you've done and that you continue to do. And actually, I think we have time. We have about 20 more minutes. Maybe we can just take a few minutes to write a letter to our future selves. Maybe like 7, 10 minutes max. I'll play some music. Um, write about all that you've accomplished and write in the tense that you've already accomplished it. Um, congratulate yourself for accomplishing what you've envisioned. Like your vision has come to fruition. You're writing to that future self. You're working in you're walking in your greatness. Like you've already done it. Let's take about 7 to 10 minutes to start writing that letter. And then after this, I would love to take time for any questions, comments. But let's take some time to write to our future self.
Nothing more beautiful than spiritual union. Two souls that come together to destroy and heal the illusion of time and space and separation between the creator and her creation. Love is the joy that leads to salvation, ascension, and divine elevation. I ain't trying to waste your time. I just wanna elevate your mind, meditate and shine, elevate your mind. I ain't trying to waste your time. I just wanna elevate your mind, meditate and shine, elevate your mind, elevate your mind. Open up your heart chakra, 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 yeah. I be on time when the time's right. Kundalini rise, get your spine right. Elevate your mind so you shine bright. Forget about your sign, you divine light. Maybe we can elevate, maybe we can levitate. Maybe we should meditate. Inhale and exhale. That's how we medicate. I ain't trying to waste your time. I just wanna elevate your mind, meditate and shine, elevate your mind. I ain't trying to waste your time. I just wanna elevate your mind, meditate and shine, elevate your mind. Elevate your mind, open up your heart chakra. Elevate your mind, open up your heart chakra. Elevate your mind, open up your heart chakra. Elevate your mind, open up your. If we come together, hearts wide open, it's a better, sweeter view, sweeter view. Yeah, yeah. Letting go of the illusion, elevate to the conclusion, into truth. Maybe we should meditate, inhale and exhale. That's how we medicate. I ain't trying to waste your time. I just wanna elevate your mind, meditate and shine, elevate your mind. I ain't trying to waste your time. I just wanna elevate your mind, meditate and shine, elevate your mind. Take your time, nurture your soul, embrace the highs, work through the lows, master yourself, work on your goals. Just take a breath, let go it and grow. It can't rain forever, you won't feel this pain forever. I promise you can change for better. I know people change, and things change for better. Yeah, I know times is kinda tough right now. Ain't nobody showing love right now. You a diamond in the rough right now. Love yourself, know your worth, you enough right now. I know times is kinda tough right now, and you rather be in love right now. But you a diamond in the rough right now. Love yourself, know your worth, you enough right now. Right now, right now, right now. You enough right now, right now, right now, right now. You enough right now. Take your time, free your mind, and you can find peace of mind. Redefine and realign deep inside. We divine. It can't rain forever. You won't feel this pain forever. I promise you can change for better. It's okay to change. Just change for better. Yeah, I know times is kinda tough right now. Ain't nobody showing love right now. You a diamond in the rough right now. Love yourself, know your worth. You enough right now. I know times is kinda tough right now, and you rather be in love right now. But you a diamond in the rough right now. Love yourself, know your worth. You enough right now, right now, right now, right now. You enough right now, right now, right now, right now. You enough right now. realign. We divine. It can't rain forever. You won't feel this pain forever. You enough right now. Right now.
Okay. Yes, snaps. I affirm all that you said, Serena. So if you haven't finished writing your letter to your future self, that's okay. I definitely hope that you finish writing it when we conclude today or whenever you're ready to. Um, but what I want to end with is that it is very important that we continue speaking life into ourselves. We literally deserve to live an abundant life. And I've been repetitive in some of the things that we've said today, but that's because that was my attempt in putting it in more than one time for repetitions that we can start to train our minds. Um, in regards to the artist that I've been playing, the artist's name is Londrell. I will put his name in the chat. And I found him on Instagram randomly, and all of the songs that I played today came from the same album um, called Stay Free. I never knew anything about him before I randomly found him on Instagram. That's why I say social media is powerful, because if you set it up in a way that works towards who you're seeking to be, Instagram knows how to feed it to you. So the artist is Londrell, and every song came from that album, Stay Free. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for your kind words in the chat. But again, it is our birthright to live the life that we desire. It literally starts with us just believing that and thinking about the fact that we are not in a box. We do not have to succumb to only what we know. It's important to be thankful for all that we had. Let me be clear. Breathing, the use of our limbs, it is important to be grateful for all that we have, but to also believe that we can accomplish all that we desire. It is with sincere and great, great gratitude that I joined you all this afternoon. I am feeling very inspired. I am feeling very emotional. I don't know if someone's over there cutting onions, but this has been a really powerful time. And visualization and making sustainable changes, it does require consistency. We're talking life changes here. So it does require consistency, even when we don't feel like it, even when we are feeling, low or we're experiencing challenges. If you feel that you need additional guidance, I would love to connect. I've listed ways that I can be contacted here. Every Wednesday on Instagram Live, I do something called Wellness Wednesdays at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. We talk about different mental health and wellness topics. It is always an amazing dialogue. I love that it's in the middle of the week, so that, if the week didn't start out the best, it's a nice way to recharge, or if the week is going well, it's a confirmation to keep going. Also, I do offer one-to-one coaching sessions. I offer group sessions, so please tap in. If nothing else, check me out on IG. Always have not only inspirational but transformational posts and just things to keep you going. I always enjoy your comments, your feedback, your dialogue. I'm on this journey too. We're on this journey together, and I'm not doing anything extraordinary outside of believing. You all have the power and the ability to do the same. And so, again, it is with sincere gratitude that I conclude this workshop. And I would love to answer any questions or receive any feedback that you all have at this time. Yes, and don't forget the underscore. Thank you so much, Compound LBC, for making this happen. I have enjoyed this collaboration so very much, and I look forward to future collaboration. Gratitude and love, yes, to everyone here. It was my absolute pleasure.
Dr. Brown, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone here. It was great to meet all of you and share the love and my goofy self. Please come check us out for any activities and definitely check into Wellness Wednesdays. I know I've been a little sleepy. Sometimes been like, oh, it's 6:30, gotta run. But it's been very helpful because January, there were a lot of shit went down on Wednesdays. So I don't know if you guys know all the things that happen on Wednesdays. So definitely Wellness Wednesdays was very needed, even if it was to rewatch on the Thursday.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, and I'll always post the lives to my page. So, different time zones, or you have a lot going on, you want to come back to it, they'll always be posted on my page. So you can always watch the replay. But yeah, Wednesdays in January definitely were historical. I agree. So, yeah, again, thank you all for joining. If you have questions that you don't feel most comfortable asking in this platform, shoot me an email, send me a DM on IG. I'm responsive. Again, thank you all. Thank you all.
So we'll go ahead and end the workshop now. If you have any questions, feel free to stay on. Otherwise, I'll be happy to see you guys around at Compound, yoga and meditation. If you're feeling shy, just come find me, or on Zoom, send me a message. If I don't know what you look like, I feel the love anyway, I'll know who you are. So thank you guys all so much, and bye. Have a wonderful day.